This is hard. To think that I considered quitting YouTube. They call me video. I can literally start crying. There was no feeling or emotions that was surface level. It was, if it was to cry, I cried it well. So hey guys, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas guys. I know this video will be going public on the 25th, which is Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas guys. I hope you enjoy your celebration. Today's video is going to be giving mixed vibes because I'm looking all Christmas like, but the storyline is not exactly a Christmas like storyline. And I'm actually doing this because I know that not everybody, I've had a year where I did not have the typical Christmas that everybody feels everybody should have. And so I'm doing this video to kind of reach out to those people who could probably be in that situation. So guys, if you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Chioma, aka Chilo. I'm a Nigerian and I'm currently living and studying in Japan. And on my channel, you guessed right, I show you my life as a foreign student here in Japan. Okay, where do I start from? There's a lot I want to say. So I have this tradition, and this tradition is my birthday. I always do some sort of bookkeeping, just check my life, not the day itself, right? It could be the week of the birthday, and then the birthday I just pray and all those things. So I just check my life. Is there something I could do better? Is there someone that I could reach out to? Just literally check my life, right? And coincidentally guys, my birthday is in December. If you follow me on social media, you probably already knew that my birthday was the first week of December, right? So it kind of doubles up as an end of year bookkeeping, like an end of year taking of stock of my life, if that makes any sense. So let's just say this video is an overflow from that session. I'm just going to be telling you in this video 2021, a recap of my 2021, the good, the bad, the ugly, the not so ugly, the not so good, regrets, lessons learned, whatever it is that comes to my mind. It was a year of immense emotions. Like when I mean immense and intense emotions, I felt every emotion that there is to be felt. Pain, happiness, joy. There was no feeling or emotions that was surface level. It was, if it was to cry, I cried it well. If it was to laugh, I laughed it well. So let's start from the wins. For 2021 guys, I had mountain top wins. Those kind of wins that literally keeps you dazed, you're just me. Those kind of wins that you're just how me, why me? It cut across a whole lot of a whole area of my life, right? This year guys, my name was called in rooms I least expected, rooms I felt okay, even if it had to be called at some point, probably not this year. This year guys, my names were called by people that I looked up to, people that I did not even expect knew how to pronounce my name, talk less of calling my name. This year guys, this year had the highest amount of speaking events I was invited to, literally both academic conferences and YouTube kind of events or scholarship kind of events. I spoke. It was almost like every week I had an email, or every week I had an event I was to dress up and speak in, right? This year guys, my YouTube blew up this year. To think that I considered quitting YouTube this year, it got to a point, I think around February or so, I think I was having a conversation with someone and I just felt really stuck. I was just this whole thing, it's getting to me, it's stressing me, what's the need, what's the da, to think that I considered quitting this year, and this same year my channel blew up. A whole lot of you I know found me this year. Please tell me in the comment section, at what points did you subscribe? At what points did you find Chilotalks? Which particular video made you subscribe? So this year my channel blew up, and when your channel blows up, it spills over into so many things, right? This year also I had the highest number of brands reaching out to me to influence or something. Like, there was a time of the year, I think from around May or June, if I'm not mistaken, June, July, there was from a time in the year that it felt like every single day or week there was at least one brand in my mail, in my work mail. This same year, guys, I had a whole lot of collaborations on YouTube. Like, the growth on YouTube this year was really massive, and it spilled over into so many things. So that's for YouTube, right? This year also I moved apartments. This was the year I moved to a private apartment, and that unlocked another level of growth. That I was just like, okay. This year I traveled to Nigeria. Hey, see, I know that trip, felt to some people like just any random trip, but guys, that was not just a trip. That was like a chance to live again for me. Trust me, that trip was a breath of a fresh air to me. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I needed, my body, soul, mind needed that trip. Now I'll explain why. So when I was coming to Japan in 2018, right, one of the major, nobody put the pressure on me. Nobody sat me down and said you must come back. But one of the things I kept saying even to my family was, after my master's, I was going to come back and rest before starting my PhD and all those things. So it had registered in my head, right? It had registered in my head. So somewhere in my head, I had given myself that rest, like that rest was coming. So even when masters was getting really tedious, it was getting to me, a part of my head was, don't worry, rest is coming. Rest. Do you know that point where you have kept rest? You know how you keep meat till after eating food? That was how it felt. I had kept that rest. So when the pandemic happened, started, it was that 2020 I graduated that the pandemic started, right? Because 2019, it wasn't really rampant, although it's called COVID-19. Guys, I had hope. I was like, no, this thing will stop before, when I want to travel. And it continued. I was in a very dark space that period. If you watched my videos around that period, even my graduation video, I mentioned that I wasn't really in a good space. If you watched, there was even a video I talked about, mental health, COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. Check my motivation playlist. You will see that video is still there. I was in a very dark space that period. I felt burnout. Like, it just felt like I was angry. Like, why now? Like, it was as bad as, I was very sensitive to everything. Everything felt like, I don't know how to explain it. It was as bad as my sister used to tease then that, don't make some comments around Chioma, especially when they're all together and family moments. If they call me video, I can literally start crying because I'm just like, I'm supposed to be there. That was how bad it was. Like, even when my brother got married, I wasn't there for every video and picture that they sent to me because the whole family gathered, right? I just kept feeling like I'm supposed to be there. I was very touchy and sensitive. So you can imagine how it felt to finally go back this year. That trip unlocked so many testimonies. Like, it was so many overwhelming wins. I remember on my birthday week, I just cried. I'm just like, thank you, God. It was like, yes was just happening. Yes, my emails, yes to my life. Like, so many things were just happening. So that's that for the wins. Let's now talk about the downside, the loss. There was this phase where it just felt like I was like, God, where are you? And that was shortly after I came back from Nigeria. I know I show up here more like, hey guys, but shortly after I came back from Nigeria, it just felt like everything was waiting for me to come back. And it was like from one problem to another, from one challenge to another. But before I get to that, I'll get to the fact that now I talked about my wins, and you can see from that win, you can see it was growth on all sides, right? Growth on my YouTube, growth in my life, my career, accommodation and all those things. But one thing that we should all know is growth comes with stress. Growth comes with expectations. And so that growth that I'm celebrating, I had one of the most stressful year. 2021 was one of the most stressful year. I was struggling to keep up with the emails. It was hard combining it with school. Like I was literally like struggling to keep up with the mails. Also, you know, the stress that comes with moving apartment, even house hunting. I viewed over 15 houses. I'm not gonna try that again. Like, I mean, it was so stressful, you know, traveling to Nigeria. I slept non-stop on that trip. I was so stressed because the trip was stressful. The whole pre-plan, you know, this whole pandemic, there's a lot of things you have to do before traveling. I had stress on all angles. Academic wise, man, I've had days I come back from the lab by 1 a.m 2 a.m, like, so of course with growth comes a lot of stress and expectation. So this was one of the most, even some of the speaking events I talked about, because of time difference, and most of the example, most of the scholarship videos, right, was actually in Nigerian time zone, and sometimes it's 2 a.m in Japan time, 3. There was the most recent one was the eve of my birthday. My birthday is 5th December, right? 4th December night around 11:30, I was preparing for an event that was to start by, I think it was to start by 1 a.m or 2 a.m Japan time, and that event was supposed to last 1 hour, but it now lasted for 2 hours. So I literally was going to bed Japan time past 4 from speaking in an event. I think this year I had the toughest phase this year in Japan, like as an international in Japan. And the most recent episode, you know, it had me looking at my professor, and I was just like, this is hard. So one of the days he was talking to me with another lab member, and I was fighting my tears. I remember I was just like, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And he was just like, he just pushed the tissue to my end of the table, and he was like, don't worry, you know, clean your tears, you'll be fine. It comes with growth. You're doing really well. In general now, I'm in a much better space. I've settled in really well since after my coming back. You know, everything has passed. Yeah, so that's that for the downside of the year. Now let's talk about lessons learned. Honestly, some of the lessons is not particularly about 2021. It's just particularly about life, and particularly about living in Japan, or just something I feel will help you. And the very first lesson I would share is tags. It's okay to use the right tag on people. What do I mean? It's getting really difficult for people to call people acquaintance, lab member, church member, classmate, colleague. Everybody is calling everybody friend. And it's in Japan that it dawned on me that it's not bad though, because in Japan, Japanese people, if you even call the person your friend, the person is looking at you like, am I your friend? So it's okay to use your right tags. The tag friend is really heavy and it's really deep. Number 2, it can relate to human beings too. Number 2, guys, is, you know, make use of the people God has blessed you with. Hard girl, it doesn't pay. I used to be that person that everybody feels, oh, she has it under lock, she's doing well, and so people come to you with their problems, but you end up not having anybody to pour out to, and then you break down, right? No, God has blessed you with people in your life for reasons. Make use of them, right? I have a very close knit, you know, circle and my family, and I have found myself this year being more vulnerable than I have ever been. If I want to cry, I know the people to call. If I want to rant, I know the people to call. If I want to share my good news that I feel I'm not ready to put it out in the public, but I feel like busting if I don't share the news, I know who to call. I know the people to call, right? People that are rooting for you day in, day out. Do not take it for granted. I'm big on family. If you follow me, you know this. I'm big on family. I'm big on community. Number 3 is, it's okay to set healthy boundaries. We live in a world now where it feels like there is one formula to everything. You cannot be available to everybody at the same pace. you are one person, you will burn out. It's okay to set healthy boundaries. Some people will not understand, but you know your context better. It's better to set healthy boundaries and be sane than burn out. Another lesson is normalize saying no and sleeping well. I learned to say no and sleep well. I used to be that person that it's related to wanting to, availability to everybody, right? I used to be that person that if I say no to you, maybe no to my time, no to maybe fun, just anything that is like no, right? I will be turning in my sleep. My dear, you cannot be like, it's not possible to say yes all the time. You're human. You also have down times. You cannot say yes all the time. It's okay to say no. The important thing is, don't be selfish when doing it, right? Don't be selfish. If you can, of course, go ahead, but do not burn out because you want to say yes to everybody. But yeah, I'm in a very much better space. But I did this video for whoever is having a not so Merry Christmas. Don't worry. Just what I would just say is enjoy today, right? Try to reach out to people, try to rest, try to catch your breath and all those kind of things. So Merry Christmas once again, guys. Happy New Year in advance. This is the last video of this year, right? Yeah, this is the last video of this year, and that's the reason why I decided to do this 2021 recap and bookkeeping. Guys, the only Christmas gifts I need from you people, if you want to know, oh Chilo, how do I do you Christmas? Turn on your notification bell. Just endeavor that the bell beside that subscribe icon, if you're subscribed, is turned on for all my videos. If you turn on your bell for all my videos, you will not miss any video. When I post a video, they will notify you that Chilotalks has posted a video. So that's the only Christmas gift I want from you. See you next time on Chilotalks. Bye for now, guys.